Sign up to the next event now and experience this for yourself. For more information, visit our website, firsttuesday.org.uk. Don't network, be the network.
Because I'm the first person to speak and I just realized that I'll be focusing on the digital aspects, I'll probably just remind you in a nutshell what 3D printing is. So 3D printing is also called additive manufacturing, and it's basically the concept of building an object by printing literally layers one on top of each other. Nothing really new in the sense that it's been around for a couple of decades already, but the technology was all protected by patents until the mid-2000s. At that point, kind of open source community called RepRap took over the project of building these kind of DIY kits that you build at home. And the technology really came from there. To a large extent, a lot of the machines, consumer machines you will find today by the well-known manufacturers are all based off of this RepRap open source community. 3D printing is not only a manufacturing technique, there's more of an ecosystem around it, and that's why digital manufacturing in general and the digital aspects are very important. There's really three key components. One is the 3D printer at the end of the day, the machine itself that you find on your desk. The other key component is the industry file format, so they're called STL files in this case. And the third really important part is the internet, which allows us to share all these digital files. So I like to compare it, and it's often done in the industry, to the music industry. If you think about the music industry and how it was transformed in the past 15, 20 years, this is like thinking about the iPod as your 3D printer, the MP3 as your STL file, and the internet as the internet. They just came at different points in the evolution. So there's three ways of getting a digital object. One is you can design it from scratch, because you know CAD, computer-aided design, or you can get somebody to design your object for you. The other solution is to 3D scan it. It's an interesting trend in itself. And the third solution is just to download it. So keep in mind that it's just ones and zeros. So your STL file is just like the MP3 of Lady Gaga that you stick in an email and you share around the world. And that's where the big transformations are going to come from. So the media spends a lot of time focusing on the negative aspects around 3D printing, like 3D printing of guns, for example, or the copyright issues that might be related. But I think brands and companies today have to realize that this will create a lot of value for them, and it's a great platform for them to distribute their objects and their products in general. So the machines you might have seen today, which basically melt plastic layer on top of each other, are just one realization of what 3D printing will be. As you can see today, with some research projects around 3D printing of houses on a very big scale, or 3D printing on the nano scale, there will never be a general purpose 3D printer. So these machines are going to specialize by industry and application. So each brand and company evolving in a particular industry will have to figure out if this makes sense for the consumer in terms of economics. Am I able to deliver cheaper products? In terms of convenience, is it more convenient for me to provide my products in this way? And then the environmental or regulation aspects are also very important. Think about the construction industry with 2.5 million jobs just in this country. If you introduce 3D printers, that's going to put a lot of people out of work. So there will also be interesting aspects around the policy side. So as I just did, a lot of industries, high labor-intensive industries will be impacted. High-tech industries will also be impacted. So don't think because you're working in a very high-tech company today that your IP will not be challenged or find competition from these kind of lower-end solutions that 3D printing can make affordable for a lot of people. So what does it mean to be a brand in this kind of new ecosystem? I like this quote by Chris Anderson, where up until now focus has been on dozens of markets of millions instead of millions of markets of dozens. So there's going to be a lot of space for customization and making your objects very personal. So 3D printing essentially makes a lot of sense when you have either low volume and or high complexity. Low volume means you can make things personal, your own, and high complexity because 3D printing can allow you to build much more complex shapes because you're building this layer after layer. Another big impact, okay, so say 20 years ago, if you were a software programmer and you wanted your code to be used by consumers, you would go and work for Microsoft, you would go and work for Oracle, you would go and work for SAP. Then the web came along, and the web is just a big distribution tool at the end of the day, and it allowed some guy in his dorm room to program a website and distribute it and push it to people. So 3D printing, because it's getting the cost of manufacturing down to such level that anybody can afford pretty much a 3D printer, it also allows those designers that might have had to go and work for a big company for their products to be used by real consumers, to kind of kickstart their own business, for example, and develop these new solutions. So, as a brand, you have to think that, yeah, sure, 3D printing is a way for you to reduce your cost, and getting a 3D printer will allow you to shorten the design process, but it also brings a lot of competition in that sense from the wrong kind of profiles, or the profiles you don't expect at least. People who just have an ID, have access to prototyping capacity with a 3D printer, and will just create new products from scratch. So basically, if anywhere in your company you see a CAD file, a 3D model of an object, you should have a 3D printer in your company. Don't necessarily think that your entire products will be copied and reproduced by these external designers, but think more about how you will be able to transform the product that was the kind of be-all end-all of your catalog into a platform that will allow these external designers to kind of customize this central product, this core product. So I like to think of the analogy of how people want to buy the iPhone or buy an Android phone because they have access to the App Store, where third-party developers are able to produce apps to solve all the types of problems. Think about your products, your physical products, as becoming the iOS in the future. So how am I going to be able to let external designers plug in their applications into my central product? And this will be very different for different types of product companies. So you really, from today, you really have to start using 3D printing in your office, see what it can do, see what your engineers or product managers, your researchers, and the digital people in your company can come up with to kind of make the first step in terms of making your products more competitive. This is what you can do, yeah, literally, again, I just said it today, so get a 3D printer for the office. If you're not convinced about the benefits that they have today, the kind of back on the envelope maths I do is if an engineer in your company is going to cost you in terms of salary and overheads and taxes and so on, £10,000 a month, say, order of magnitude, and one 3D printer order of magnitude is around £1,000, that's 2 days of his work. Okay, so if you manage to shorten the design process of one single object by 2 days, you've paid for the machine itself. So if you're not doing this today, you're probably losing out. Once you've got the benefit on the rapid prototyping, try and adapt your products to 3D printing. There's still a few design rules that you have to keep in mind because of constraints in 3D printers. Start distributing small numbers of designs to your community. Try to build a community of designers organically that will plug in these solutions into your products in the future. So this, at the end of the day, these machines are super user-friendly, but you still have to learn a lot of things. Okay, so using the machine is the first one. It's not very complicated, but it's going to be new in the office. You have to design for 3D printing. As I said, there's a few design constraints. You probably have to curate a lot of the content that is also provided by external designers, do the community management, really engage with them, work with 3D printer owners in order to instruct them on how to build these objects on their own at home. So at the end of the day, there's a lot to learn and a lot to think about how to integrate. So start today, and you'll probably get there in time. So I think the benefits, I kind of talked about that. So in a nutshell, what you need to get out of this very short talk is that 3D printing is real. Don't try and deny it because it's being overhyped in the media. Use it for the back of an envelope calculations that I mentioned today. Try to understand as much as possible how your particular industry will be impacted by digital manufacturing. Again, try and see what the cost benefits are, environmental benefits, convenience for the consumer. The digital communities that will be formed around your products are going to be big, so try and interact with them as much as possible and as early as possible. And even if you don't think that it will at all impact and you still don't think you need it, just try and think about the major society changes that 2.5 million people working in the construction industry might have on your business and the economy in general. So that's what I'm going to leave you with.
Sign up for the next event now and experience this for yourself. For more information, visit our website, firsttuesday.org.uk.